Welcome back, kiddies, to the fatal finale of Tales from the Grid. In today's episode, we're going to talk about one of the scariest survival horror games that we have ever played. Today, we talk about Fatal Frame 2. We're also going to wrap up our countdown of Season 1, Tales from the Crypt. What are we drinking
today? We're drinking Schlafly's Pumpkin Ale. It's a pumpkin ale from St. Louis, Missouri.
This beer is the holy grail of pumpkin beers, folks. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself an October beer if you care to, and stay tuned to the final episode of Tales from the Grid. Alright, here we go. Welcome to the season finale of Tales from the Grid. This is the final episode, and we are so jacked up because not only do we get to talk about an amazing game, the best episode in Season 1 of Tales from the Crypt, but we are also drinking our all-time favorite October beer with the Schlafly Pumpkin Ale.
It's incredible. So let's jump in to Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly.
Yes, this game is fantastic. If you're a fan of survival horror games, especially the ones like in that PS2 era, with those shitty tank controls, which sounds like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing.
No, dude. A lot of survival horror games have those tank controls. It adds a lot more intensity.
Yep.
Like when you're in a pinch, you're like, oh, the control, it sucks. And this game has it, which is awesome. And I also love the camera angle in this game.
Yep.
Like the way it moves. Like if you've ever played Until Dawn, it kind of has that same aspect where the camera's like fixed and the character moves around and then it switches to like a different angle.
There's a cinematic aspect for sure.
Yeah, it's very cool. So you play as twin sisters Mayo and Mayu, and it basically follows their journey to like this ghost town, and there's flashbacks to Mayu like doing weird stuff, and you don't know if she's dead or alive. You don't know if you're both dead or alive.
Yeah.
This game is so confusing, so weird, but yet so scary and so intriguing. Like it's like, what is going on? What is the story? And your only weapon in this game besides walking around is a camera, and that's called the camera obscura, and that is how you capture these ghosts, these spirits, because you'll be in a room and it's just quiet, and then all of a sudden you'll turn and like a ghost will appear. It is terrifying.
This camera catching them in a frame, it startles the ghosts, or their image being captured wounds them, if you will. And that is, like you said, it's your only defense. There are different levels of film that inflict more or less damage depending on the grade of the film.
Yeah, the camera aspect kind of reminds me of like an RPG game. So you like go in and you collect these orbs, and that's how you upgrade your camera. You can upgrade like the spread, the defense. You can add different effects like stun. Dude, this game, we've been playing it all month long, and it scares the crap out of me still.
Yeah, absolutely. This game is horrifying. The jump scares are through the roof. It is it's weird to be told that you're getting ready to play one of the scariest games ever. So one of our friends, Brian Newland, actually told us this game's so scary. So you think we would have been prepared for it, but then you actually play it, and it's like, holy shit, this game is scary as hell, and you're expecting to be scared. So that tells you how scary it is.
Dude, it is so scary, and it's so frustrating.
This is a game, it's so weird. I worry about modern gamers, how well they could grab onto this. Like, I love this game, and it's a game that we will revisit probably time and time again. But I think it depends on which generation you grew up in, because this game is a slow burn. If you've never played PS2 or PS1 survival horror games, it's going to take you a little bit.
Yeah. But we highly recommend it.
I don't want to say the controls are bad, because for the time, they were right on course with where they, should have been. But playing it by today's standards, it's going to take you some getting used to.
But I think that adds to the charm of the game.
It does.
It makes it more intense. It makes it more hard.
Yeah.
It makes it scarier, because you're like, dude, what are the freaking controls?
Yeah.
And then when you go into camera mode, the controls are different. It takes a while to get used to the controls, and that is just part of the charm of these types of games.
And it's kind of going to arc a spark for us to play the rest of the series. So we got to get the first one, the third one, and then I think there's a fourth one that is a Wii U download, at least here. I think it was released physically in PAL territories and stuff, but you can only get it digital download on the Wii U, which I've heard it's actually a decent game.
That sounds badass.
But anyways, Fatal Frame 2, this game, folks, stole our Halloween season.
Dude, we've been playing this all month long.
And we're probably going to get back on it, because now we know exactly what we're doing, and man, such a scary game.
And speaking of scary, let's jump into our favorite episode of Season 1 from Tales from the Crypt.
Poor little fellas.
The Man Who Was Death.
Oh.
This episode, folks, is the best episode in season 1, hands down. And honestly, the performance by William Sadler as Niles Talbot, in my opinion, goes down as one of the best performances I've ever seen on film.
They say electric current's so fast the brain gets cooked just as soon as the switch is throwed. Prisoner never feels a thing. Boy, I'd hate to think that was true.
Niles Talbot he's an executioner at a prison, and he kills people.
So he's the guy that pulls the switch.
Yeah, he pulls the switch.
My name's Niles Talbot. I've been the executioner in this state for the last 12 years. When I got here from Oklahoma, I caught on as an electrician, and after a while, I got a job out to the prison, taking care of the generators. I like electricity.
But then they ban the death penalty where he lives, so he gets fired from his job.
Yep.
And he's like, dude, I love my job. He's good at it. He's passionate about it, which is crazy. That's messed up to say. So he starts freelancing. He starts doing his job for fun.
Yeah.
And he goes out and finds people that aren't convicted that did the crime.
But they are guilty.
Yeah, they are guilty, but they got off scot-free because of technicalities, and he kills them.
I find you both guilty of the murder of your former wife, Mr. Carney.
Were you a friend of hers? Who are you?
And I sentence you to death. That sentence to be carried out immediately.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That was Ted's idea. I didn't know he'd really go through with
Shut
it.
up,
You
Cynthia.
gotta believe me.
Shut up, Cynthia. No, wait,
The way this story is told, the way it cuts to him talking, it's...
The
Oh my
noir
God.
style of this and the way he narrates his voice, this performance by William Sadler, it's top 10 for me. He does such a fantastic job of delivering the message and executing this character. This episode is so great.
Dude, and I love the way how he is the main guy, so you want to support him, but then he's also a bad guy, so you want to hate him. But the way he talks and the way he's like so smooth that it's like, even though he's doing bad things, you still like him.
The difference, though, for me at least in this episode, from a lot of the other episodes in Tales, is a lot of people get what they deserve. Niles Talbot, although he's a little obtuse and out of bounds in what he's doing, he's going after people that are truly guilty.
Yeah, he's giving them the judgment they deserve.
He is. And so there's an amount of righteousness there that doesn't exist in some of the other episodes. The finale of this episode does sting. It freaking stings.
But I just love how this is the pilot episode of Tales from the Crypt, and it is incredible. I highly recommend this episode to everyone.
It set the bar
It
really
set the
freaking
bar
high.
so high.
Yeah, if there was an episode of Tales from the Crypt to show somebody to like say, hey, you might want to look into this series, this is it.
This
man.
is the episode to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. The beer.
Schlafly Pumpkin Ale. Oh my god. Every time I have this beer, I'm like, this is how beer's supposed to taste. This is how pumpkin beer's supposed to taste. This is so freaking good. And it sucks because they don't serve this in our area anymore.
No longer
we don't get
distributed.
this. Yeah, we don't
it's
get this.
been 2 or 3 years now since we've been able to get this here.
It sucks. But we finally got our hands on it again, and it soothed all my aches and pains.
Yeah, this is the best pumpkin beer I've ever had. I think you agree.
It's so good.
So good. It comes in at 8%, so it is a hefty beer. It's got a very thick mouthfeel.
But it's smooth.
If you like pumpkin pie and if you like beer, there is no doubt in my mind that you will like this beer. This beer is the creme de la creme. It is the top shelf. I don't know how you could make a pumpkin beer any better than this. This is one of the best seasonal beers we have ever had on the channel.
Oh, absolutely. You brought up pumpkin pie. It kind of reminds me of like pumpkin bread as well.
Yeah.
Like it has like that thick, that chewy, but it's also smooth at the same time. And like the 8%, you do not notice
No.
it. Dude, this beer has so much good flavor.
And
man.
everything about it. So the start, the finish, everything. Like as I was just getting ready to take a drink there, as you enter the glass, before you even drink it, the nose, you're coming in to a pumpkin experience. Like it's going to be amazing, and this beer delivers on all fronts. We have had a bad experience with October beers for the majority of the time on this channel. This actual season here has been pretty good to us because we found a couple new ones, but a lot of people think pumpkin beers, stay away from them, which is making them kind of disappear. I feel like they're usually thin on the mouth, and they just don't deliver. This is not that beer.
Highly recommend.
This is honestly, if we had to pick do like a top 5 beers we've ever had on the channel, I think this would be in the discussion.
Wow, he's going there. I would not disagree.
Guys, it's been a fun ride. The Tales from the Grid series, from a channel perspective, it doesn't perform very well, but we have a good time.
Oh, it's so
And we
awesome.
think that you secretly have a good time on the other end. And that's why we're going to keep doing it year after year. Next October, we will be back with more October beers and season 2 of Tales from the Crypt and more horror games to scare the shit out of you each and every single time. We always appreciate you tuning in and subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time right here on Gaming Off the Grid. All right, here we go. It is a celebration of sorts. It is this sphincter finale. It's the sphincter finale. All right, here we go. It is a celebration of sorts. Shorts. There's too many S's. Slippy, Slappy.
Sally went down to the seashell to sell she shorts.
To sphincter. It's not funny. Nothing's funny. There's nothing that's funny. All right, here we go. A celebration.
It is funny.
Dude, I just don't.
It's funny.
If you would quit smiling, I can see it out of the corner of my eye.
I'm just trying to drink my beer, but every time it's a celebration, it's funny.
There's nothing that's funny. Why am I laughing?
That's because, dude, this is...
Nothing is funny.
Dude, when you're an actor...
Okay.
You're
All right. All right, here we go. Welcome to the season finale of Tales. I'm just going to skip all that shit.
Wow, make it a blockbuster night.
Yeah, baby. He still got it. Yeah. I gotta keep pumping. The balloons are deflated, man. Stop breaking the law, asshole!